Do you think that Danny Brackett from Scream 6 could be revealed as a Ghostface in Scream 7? That's going to be the theory that we're talking about today. I'm Pamela. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be getting into a lot of different Scream theories here on my channel coming up, so definitely stay tuned. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give this video a like. You could also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's get into it. So I have done a theory video on Danny before, but this is something that I think that we should be talking about, so I just want to keep the conversation going. I think we should be keeping an eye on Danny, and I did find another little clue that makes me a little suspicious of him. So first off, if you're familiar with my channel, then you know I 100% believe Stu Macher is alive and will be revealed in Scream 7 to be leading a cult of ghost faces, which was the original plan for Scream 3. And I think these new movies are going to honor that. So because I believe Stu is leading a cult, I do think we're going to get multiple shocking Ghostface reveals in Scream 7. Stu being one of them, of course, and possibly Danny. In the Scream franchise, we've never had a returning character later be revealed as Ghostface, which is something that I would like to see. It would definitely be shocking and a betrayal to the audience and the characters. You know, I love Danny. I thought he was a great character in Scream 6. So if he's later revealed as a Ghostface, I would definitely be surprised. Spoiler alert for the Scream TV show if you haven't seen it before. There is a character in that TV show who, we thought was good the entire first season and second season, and is revealed at the end to be one of the killers. So Danny could be like Kieran from the TV show and end up being revealed later on after we've spent some time with him, grew to love him for an entire movie. And Radio Silence, who we know worked on Scream 5 and Scream 6, they had the cast of Scream 6 all do an audition reading Ghostface lines because they didn't let any of the cast know who was going to be Ghostface. So they just wanted them all to read a Ghostface monologue to see how they would do. And they all said that Josh Segarra killed it, that he was so good. So it pains me that they didn't choose to make him Ghostface in Scream 6. Because if I'm being honest, the Ghostface reveals in Scream 6 were not that good. They were a little weak. And I think it's time that we get a Ghostface reveal where the killer is actually intimidating. I wasn't scared of Ethan. I wasn't even scared of Detective Bailey. They were both like goofy. Quinn was definitely like the most intimidating just because she was so crazy. I actually do think Quinn's performance after the reveal was great, but she's still just not that intimidating. I feel like there hasn't really been a scary Ghostface since Billy. Billy was like a little bit intimidating. So the fact that the creators of Scream 6 said that Josh Segarra killed his performance as Ghostface, I could see him being like an actually scary killer. So right off the bat, something that made me suspect Danny in Scream 6 is kind of in the beginning of the movie when him and Sam are talking to each other in the lobby of the building that they live in. And Sam's like complaining about Tara, complaining about being famous and getting the Coke spilled on her. And Danny says, family can be rough. And he kind of like looks down.
Yeah, family can be rough.
I think this is a very important line that just gets overlooked. And every time I watch it, I'm like, this has to mean something. Who is Danny's family? Could he be related to a past killer? Could he be related to Stu Macher? If Danny is a part of Stu's cult, it would make sense that Stu, as the leader of the cult, would want someone to keep an eye on Sam and Tara and keep tabs on them and stay close to them. Now, I've heard a lot of fans question the bodega scene. There's a theory going around in the Scream community that there's possibly a fourth secret Ghostface in Scream 6. because the bodega scene is somewhat questionable. Just before the bodega scene, when Sam is still at the apartment, she gets a call from Gail Weathers, and we can see on her cell phone that it was 9:57 p.m. And then we later find out from the police board that the bodega scene happened at 10:03 p.m. And we know that Sam also talked on the phone with Detective Bailey while she was still at the apartment. Ethan and Quinn were in the apartment with her, and they couldn't have possibly left the apartment after Sam and Tara did, because we would have seen them leave. And that wouldn't give either of them enough time to get into costume. So that leaves Detective Bailey. Everyone believes the bodega Ghostface to be Bailey. But he was just at Jason's apartment on the phone with Sam. Now, of course, we don't know exactly how close Jason's apartment is to the bodega, but it's not that realistic to me that Detective Bailey could get away from the crime scene, get into costume, hide out in the bushes or wherever he was to pop out and attack them. He's the most logical out of the three Ghostfaces, but that brings up the question, was there a fourth Ghostface? And now Danny was at the apartment with Sam and Tara and everyone else before the bodega scene, but if you remember, Chad kicked him out early. Chad said something like, "Goodbye, suspicious new guy," and Danny left before Sam even got the call from Detective Bailey.
Thank you very much, suspicious new guy. I think we got it from here. Have a good night. Get home safe. Go, come on.
So that would give Danny more than enough time to get into costume and post up and wait for Sam and Tara. Moving on to the apartment attack scene. The scene when Quinn fakes her death and everyone climbs across the ladder to get to Danny's apartment. Danny saw Ghostface in Quinn's room before Quinn faked her death. And he's like shouting across the way to get their attention and airdrops them some photos of Ghostface. Why doesn't Danny run across the hall to help them? And why doesn't he call the police either? You know, you're a strong man. Why didn't you run to save your girl? We see later on the subway scene, he steps in front of Sam when they think Ghostface is coming at them. So why didn't he do anything during the apartment attack scene to try to help them? That's just a little suspicious to me. And why did he happen to have a ladder in his apartment? Jumping ahead to Gail's attack scene at her apartment. As we know, Gail gets attacked in her apartment. She does survive. And when Tara and Sam are in Central Park and Kirby traces the call, they figure out that Ghostface is on the Upper West Side where Gail lives. And as Sam, Tara, and Bailey start running, Sam says, "My friend Danny works on the Upper West Side. He can get there faster than us." But, you know, Danny doesn't show up to help at all, and then suspiciously shows up right after Gail gets attacked.
I got here as fast as I could.
He says, "I got here as fast as I could." And Tara says, "Did you?"
Did you?
And not only that, I believe this is something that I did not mention in my last video, but when Danny arrives, Ethan gives him a look. Ethan looks his way and is kind of like concerned. And the look that Ethan gives Danny reminds me of in Scream 5 during Dewey's attack scene in the hospital. When Dewey shoots Ghostface, Richie looks behind him and looks a little concerned because his partner just got shot, which obviously is something that they were not planning on happening. So Richie looks back with like a look of concern on his face. And this look that Ethan gives Danny reminds me a lot of that. And during the subway scene, Tara calls Danny out for separating the group. When Mindy gets separated from the group, Danny says, "I was trying to keep us all together." And Tara says, "Yeah, by pulling us apart."
I was trying to keep us together.
By pulling us apart.
Now, I also want to talk a little bit about the plaid theory. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with Scream's blue plaid theory, where a lot of the past killers have worn a blue flannel shirt. Billy was the first one to do it, and then we get Jill in Scream 4, as well as Charlie in Scream 4, and then Richie in Scream 5. All 4 of them wear a blue flannel shirt and then end up being revealed as one of the killers. And the movie creators have realized that the audience has caught on to this. So I believe that they've switched it to red plaid. In the opening scene of Scream 6, when they show Ethan in the refrigerator, he's wearing a red plaid shirt. And then later we see Ethan has red plaid in the lining of his jacket, and so does Detective Bailey. So that's 3 different ghost faces in Scream 6 wearing red plaid. And then when Danny is shown ironing his clothes, you can see a red plaid shirt hanging out of his laundry basket. It might not be that clear in this photo, but I promise you it's red. It shows up better on the TV. I mean, they didn't have to show that. It's like purposely draped out of his laundry basket. So is that just another little clue that Danny is a secret ghost face? We also know that he told Sam not to trust him. He said, "Don't trust anyone, not even me." I don't know, maybe we shouldn't trust him. Obviously, they've done the boyfriend thing before with Billy and with Richie. But this one would be a little bit different because he didn't get revealed at the end of 6. He'll carry on to the next movie and then be revealed. Now, another little clue that I noticed on my most recent rewatch of Scream 6, at the very end of the movie, after all the ghost faces are killed and the cops show up with Danny, Danny says to Sam, "I called Mount Sinai and Gail and Mindy are going to be okay."
And I called Mount Sinai and Mindy and Gail are gonna be okay. Mindy's on her way here now. They couldn't stop her.
Not bad, cute boy.
How did Danny even know that Mindy was attacked? He obviously knew that Gail was attacked because he showed up after it happened, but wouldn't he have not known that Mindy was attacked on the subway? Because the whole group gets separated on the subway. They go to the shrine. Sam asks Danny not to go in with them. And when Sam, Tara, Chad, and Kirby all go into the shrine and get ready to, set up for Ghostface's arrival, Sam says, "I'm going to call Mindy and see if she's close." So Sam didn't even know that Mindy was attacked. How did Danny find out? Danny saying this, that he called the hospital and Mindy's going to be fine. This reminds me a lot of Jill slipping up in Scream 4. In Scream 4, Jill said to Dewey, me and Gail will be matching with our shoulder wounds. And Dewey tells this to Gail, and Gail says, "How does she know I was stabbed in the shoulder?" And then that's how they realize that Jill's the killer. I don't know, something's not adding up. I mean, maybe Danny heard it on the news somehow, that Mindy was attacked, but I don't know, would those details be released to the news that quickly? It just happened. What do you guys think? How do you think Danny knew that Mindy was attacked on the subway? That's it for today. That is my Danny Brackett theory. Let me know what you guys think. Were you suspicious of Danny when you were watching Scream 6? Do you think he was just a red herring for that movie and that's it? He's a good guy? Do you think that maybe they'll shake things up in the franchise and reveal him later on? I would like to see him as a Ghostface. I like him a lot as a character, but I think he could be so good as a killer. Thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next video.